college has this sort of moment where they have a slump. Mine happened at the beginning of sophomore year, which I guess a lot of people do, because a lot of people have a sophomore slump. I had done well in high school. I had tutored other students. I'd come to Haverford. I'd had a wonderful freshman year, and I'd really made that transition, I thought, into college academics. I'd gone to class, I'd understood the material, I'd taken tests, I'd written papers. My first college paper was an incredibly scary experience, but I'd done it. And so I was feeling really confident going into sophomore year. And I thought that I was going to continue on that. So if sophomore year begins, it's very different. I'm no longer living with my customs group. I have a new roommate, new living situation. Everything's very different, and I'm taking harder classes, and it seems to be going really well. And I'm in my second year of Japanese, and I love Japanese. And then suddenly it's not going very well, and I'm doing really badly. I was stressed out. I didn't have any time. My roommate had to listen to me cry a million times as I thought the whole world was ending, and I was really struggling, and I didn't really know what to do. I'd had bad grades and struggled with material before, and I'd needed, someone to be like, you can do it, Lizzie, in high school. But I'd never had a period where I was just consistently bad, and I was consistently struggling with academics. And so I was sitting there looking at my terrible performance in Japanese, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do you do at Haverford when you don't know what you're doing? And so it was a big moment for me, because that was one of the first times I've ever had to reach out for help, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I needed help. And ultimately I talked to my professor. I spent many hours in her office. They were wonderful. They spent a lot of time doing one-on-one tutoring with me, but they sort of suggested I needed to get a real tutor. And so I did. I spoke to my dean. I decided to take Japanese pass-fail. I went and got a tutor, and I had used the resources of the college, and I got back on track. But I think what that experience taught me was that here at Haverford, we're surrounded by resources. You have the writing centre, the maths question centre, a maths tutor, pretty much any resource that you want is out there. But sometimes people are afraid to use them. People are afraid that the writing centre is only if you are a bad writer, or you only need to get a tutor if you're doing really badly, or you should only go ask for help if that means you must be a bad student or something. But after realizing that that's not the case, I've realized that Haverford offers all of these resources for everyone, and you don't need to categorize yourself as a bad student. You're actually a good student for going to the writing centre. You're a good student for realizing, hey, you know what, Japanese is just not my thing, and I need a Japanese tutor. And that's why we pay to come to a private liberal arts college with wonderful academic resources, is because we then have all of these academic resources. And I tell all of my current freshmen, I'm an HCO, all about the resources on campus, and really encourage them to use them.